Happy holidays and welcome to the Power BI December 2022 update. In this video, we'll explore what's new this month and see some demos of the highlights. First, in the reporting section, we've moved slicer type formatting into the format pane. Previously, to change a slicer's type, like changing from relative date to a slider, these settings were only available in the visual header and you could only find them on hover. On top of that, to get a slicer to show horizontally aligned chiclet buttons, you had to first choose List from the visual header to get the option in the format pane, and then use the format pane to swap the orientation. Now these settings all live in one place in the format pane, making it easier to find and change between all of the slicer types. We've also renamed the horizontal slicer to Tile, which is a lot more descriptive as far as how it actually behaves. A couple of other great benefits to this change are that the slicer type is now themable, and it's now available as a mobile formatting option as well. Next, in the mobile section, we've made it easier to do comparison calculations by introducing multiple new DAX functions: index, offset, and window. Emily will show us a demo of these new functions.
We are excited to announce that this month we are introducing 3 DAX functions targeting at making comparison calculations in Power BI easier. These functions are index, offset, and window. Let's take a quick look at each of these new functions, starting with index. Index is helpful for comparing values versus a baseline or finding another specific entry by retrieving a row in an absolute position. In this example, I have 2 different measures, one of which uses index of 2 to get the second row of my list price, which corresponds to the second cheapest price across my products. And the other measure uses an index of -2 to get the second to last row of my list price, which corresponds to the second most expensive price across my products. Now let's take a look at offset. Offset is helpful for comparing values against a previous value based on relative position from your current position. In this example, you see the difference for each sales product color compared to the one just above it in this chart. This was done by specifying -1 to the first parameter of offset. Last, let's take a look at window. Window is helpful for adding a running total, moving average, or similar calculation that rely on selecting a range of values. In this example, you can see this line, which represents the moving average for the last 3 months of sales. This was done by using relative windows to calculate the average sales of the current month and 2 months prior.
We've also introduced 2 new helper functions: order by and partition by. These helper functions can only be used in functions that accept an order by or partition by parameter, which are the functions previously mentioned. The partition by function defines the columns that'll be used to partition the rows on which these functions operate. The order by function defines the columns that determine the sort order within each of a window function's partitions as specified by partition by. Next, we have some new and updated connectors for you in the data connectivity and preparation section. Updated connectors this month include the Anaplan connector, the Azure Databricks and Databricks connectors, and the Dremio Cloud connector. New connectors include the CData Connect Cloud connector and the Cosmos DB v2 connector. For details on each of these updates, check out the blog post linked in the video description below. In the service section, Power BI Org app Multiple Audiences is now generally available. Following our last announcement in August of launching the public preview of Multiple Audiences for Power BI Org apps, we're excited to share that it'll be generally available this month. With multiple audiences for an app, Power BI app authors can create multiple audience groups within the same app and assign different permissions to each group. Next, in the mobile section, we've brought Power BI metrics to the Windows app, allowing you to monitor your metrics, scorecards, and even check in progress all directly from the Windows app. In the developer section, we've enhanced the Fetch More Data API to allow report authors to set the data chunk size dynamically by using the new property Data Reduction Customization. This is available with the new 5.2 API release. For more details, check out the article linked in the video description below. Finally, in the visualization section, we've got a slew of new visuals available for you on AppSource this month. Our new visuals are the KPI emoji visual, Gantt by Lingaro, the Aim Plan planning and reporting visual, the Excalibur visual, the 3D BI visual, the vertical text visual by CO2 Graphs, the Definitive Logic Advanced Gantt chart, the SW color map with 2 levels, the OneTax Power BI visual, and a full suite of powerful charts by pbivizedit.com, including advanced line charts, various bar and column charts, a Likert scale, and more. You can find and download all these visuals and more on AppSource. That's all for this month. As always, we hope you enjoy the updates. Please keep sending us feedback on what you'd like to see in upcoming releases. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.